Hey guys, happy new year and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday season and I missed you guys. So let's get started with the first video of the year, and it's a book wrap up. A book wrap up for December. So let's get started. So in the month of December, I read 4 books and here they are. 2 of these books I did talk about in my mid-December wrap up because one of these books I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good, I want you guys to read it, and one was a Christmas book, so I kind of wanted to talk about it just in case you wanted to read it during the month of December. So I'm going to go through those 2 pretty quickly and then talk about the other 3. So the first one was The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart, Turton, and I love this book. This was such a good little mystery thriller. There were twists, there were turns. Honestly, I never knew who the killer was. Like, I could not have guessed it, because when you find out who it is, you're going to be like, are you serious? And how did you miss that? Because it's not obvious in the book. So it's the rules of Blackheath. Evelyn Hardcastle will be murdered at 11 p.m. There are 8 days and 8 witnesses for you to inhabit. We will only let you escape once you tell us the name of the killer. Understood? Then let's begin. This poor guy was just hopping bodies, having the thriller version of Groundhog Day happen to him just so he could figure out what happened. And the crazy thing is, the other crazy part is when you find out why all of this is happening. Because that's the part I was like, what? Like, that's why he's going through this? So definitely recommended this one. I love this book. It is 400, let's see, can't get to the back, 458 pages, but I feel like it reads pretty quickly because it's really, really good. So a thick one, but a good one. The next one I read was Murder on the Christmas Express by Alexandra Benedict. I will say for this one, I liked it more in the beginning. So here's kind of like a blurb. All aboard, but beware. Passengers who sleep on this train may never wake up. In the early hours of Christmas Eve, the sleeper train from London to the Highland derails, along with the festive plans of its travelers. With the train buried in snow in the middle of nowhere, the passengers only have one another, and not all of them will reach their holiday celebrations. So, like I said, I liked the beginning of this book more so when it was building to what was happening, but I felt like once they told us who the killer was, that was like completely for me out of left field. And then number 2, I didn't necessarily like how it ended. Like, I got it, but I just didn't think that was completely fair. And then there was like another murder in here, and I was just like, I don't know. I just feel like once it got into like the murders and who actually did what, it kind of fell apart for me. But it was still a good read, so I would say like read it, but it wasn't that great. Yeah. I've only read one other book where I was like, oh, actually, at this point, I have another book, but we'll talk about that one next month. But I've only read one other book where I was just like, I felt like that was a complete waste of time, and that was The Echo Wife. Y'all, this book was a complete waste of time. It's called The Paleontologist, and here's the read. A haunted paleontologist returns to the museum where his sister was abducted years earlier and is faced with the terrifying and murderous spirit in the chilling novel. Curator of paleontology Dr. Simon Neely never expected to return to his Pennsylvania hometown, let alone the Hawthorne Museum of Natural History. He was just a boy when his 6-year-old sister Morgan was abducted from the museum under his watch, and the guilt has haunted Simon ever since. After a recent breakup and death of the aunt who raised him, Simon feels drawn back to the place where Morgan vanished in search of the bones they never found. But from the moment he arrives, things aren't what he expected. The Hawthorne is a crumbling ruin, still closed amid the ongoing pandemic and plummeting toward financial catastrophe. Where Simon begins seeing and hearing things he can't explain, strange animal sounds, bloody footprints that no living creature could have left. A prehistoric killer looming in the shadows of the museum. Terrified he's losing his grasp on reality, Simon turns to the handwritten research diaries of his predecessor and uncovers a blood-soaked mystery 150 years in the making that could be the answer to everything. Like I said, I just feel like the book was all over the place. Like, I just wasn't here for it. I just felt like it was dumb. Like, it never really... I feel like the reason, like, the killer and then, like, their reasoning for doing it was kind of out of left field. I don't feel like it fit in with everything that we were reading the entire time. And even though, like, when I was reading the book, I was like, ooh, I had my eye on that person. Like, I was like, I know they have to tie in some other way. But I feel like the way they tied in was just dumb. Like, I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Like, literally, I was reading this book on Christmas Day. And when I finished reading, because it took me over a week to read this book, like over a week, and it wasn't because I was busy. It was just that I just could never get the momentum to get through it, and because I don't like to read multiple books at one time, I was stuck because I didn't want to not finish it. Y'all, when I closed this book on Christmas Day and I was like, I'm finished, I was like, this is the dumbest book I've ever read. I did not like it at all. I don't recommend it, but maybe some of you have read it, and or maybe you think, oh, I want to read it because I like dinosaurs and you want to give it a try. I'm so pissed that I didn't like it because it gave me Trimmer vibes. I talked about that in my my book haul last month. It gave me like, y'all, anyway, but then I read The Club and things got better. So, and this one, The Paleontologist, is by Luke Dumas. This one here is called The Club, and it's by Ellery Lloyd, which is actually a couple, a husband and wife couple, so I thought that was cool. So everyone's dying to join. The home group is a glamorous collection of exclusive celebrity members, clubs dotted across the globe. The most spectacular of all is Island Home, a closely guarded, ultra-luxurious resort just off the English coast. And its 3-day launch party is easily the most coveted A-list invite of the decade. But behind the scenes, tensions are at a breaking point. The ambitious and expensive project has pushed the home group CEO and his long-suffering team to their absolute limits. All of them have something to hide, and that's before the beautiful people with their own ugly secrets even set foot on the island. As tempers fray and behavior worsens, as things get more sinister by the hour and the bodies pile up, some of Island Home's members will begin to wish they'd never been invited, because at this club, if your name is on the list, you're not getting out. Now, let me tell you, this book was good from the beginning. So I like the fact that the book is told through the perspectives of 4 people and then a 5th person, but not until the end. So it's told between the perspectives of Adam, Jess, Nikki, Annie, and then Laura. So this, first of all these people are scum. Like, there are maybe 2 people in this book that I would say, 3 people that wasn't really scum, but at least one of them got in a little mix up, but that was when it was young. So, but let me just say, like, this book, it's not even about just what was happening in present day, because literally it ties back to like the beginning of them creating these different clubs, and like one person was just trash. Like, when you read this book and you find out like all the things this person did, this person knew, because several people knew a bunch of stuff that makes them trash. That's why I was like, a lot of these people just trash. Like, there were maybe 4 people weren't trash, because he really didn't do nothing. But there like literally were people in here like, how could you know this stuff and keep going like nothing is wrong? And literally setting people up from the beginning. Like, you thinking that somebody is your friend, they got your back, and no, you was just a pawn. And I will say there was a part in here where I was like, don't go to the dark side. You didn't want somebody to go to the dark side, but I'm going to say I did like how this one wrapped up. I feel like people got what they should have gotten, and it is what it is. So I definitely recommend this one. The last one I read was The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, and this one says, meet the residents of number 12 Rue des Amants, a beautiful old apartment building in the City of Light. The socialite, the nice guy, the alcoholic, the girl on the verge, the concierge. Everyone's a neighbor, everyone's a suspect, and everyone knows something they're not telling. See you in Paris. So this one is another book told through the perspective of the different people who live in this building. But here's the thing. I felt like this book, it does move slow, but I feel like it was giving you, like, at the end of each little chapter, you got a little bit that kept making you want to read it. So I don't necessarily mind if a book moves slow, as long as you give me something that makes me, like, lets me know it's going to get good. The thing is, I feel like once it got to, like, where the stuff started hitting the fan, I feel like it was underwhelming. I just wanted No, there were surprises, but I kind of, as the surprises in the book were revealed, instead of like, I was like, oh, okay. Oh, I wanted it to make me gasp. I wanted to lose my breath, and it didn't make me do that. But I did think overall the book was good. I do think Lucy dropped the ball, because there's just one character, like the end of the book, where you just like, well, what happened to them? Like, where'd they go? And I feel like that was kind of a drop. Overall, I thought it was a good book, so it wasn't horrible. It was just cool. I just wanted more of, like, when the action started happening, I just wanted a little bit more, you know? But those are our reads for the month of December. Not bad, not bad. This is my little stack here. I hope you guys had a really good reading year. I read 35 books last year, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I thought it was more. I really thought I had read more books, because, you know, when you're looking at the books, it just looked like a lot. But I'm happy for my 35, because I didn't start reading until mid-July. So that was 5.5 months of reading. So pat myself on the back. I hope you guys, you know, had a good reading year last year. I hope you met your goals. This year, we are going for 80 books, y'all. We are trying to read 80 books this year. That is the goal. I figured I would double it and then add a little more. And guess what? We already one book in. It's the 5th, because I am recording this video the same day it's going up. So it's the 5th. I've already got one book in the bag. I'm already starting another one. So we're going to hit those reading goals. What are y'all's reading goals for this year? Like, I was watching somebody, and they were in the bookstore, and this woman in 1 year had read like over 700 books. Now, she was like, oh, that's when I wasn't working. So she was like, this year I've only read like 400 and something. I'm like, good gosh. I don't know if she's physically reading all of these books, or if like it's audiobook, physical read combo. I'm a physical book girly. I gotta have a book in my hand. Audiobooks, I'm not paying attention. I can't focus like that. But I just thought that was crazy. But over here, we got a goal of 80 books this year. So hopefully we can reach and surpass that goal. We got a full year to do. We actually got an extra day, because it's a leap year, which I was trying to figure out why my app was telling me I had 366 days to complete a goal. And then I realized it was a leap year. So yeah, there we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first video of 2024. I hope your year is off to a good start. I am changing my posting schedule just so I don't get overwhelmed and I feel like I'm rushing and just doing videos that I don't really like. I am going to post once a week. Not saying I didn't like the videos I was doing, but I felt like super pressured. So I'm going to be posting once a week, and I'm going to be posting on Friday, because I feel like that way you'll have the video for the weekend. So I'll post every day on Friday at 12 noon. And if I decide to change that later on, I will. But right now, I just think that's just a good place for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. For those of you returning, thank you so much. You know, talk about what you like. I'll talk back to you. If there are any books that you guys want to recommend, I like thrillers. I like thrillers and Disney retellings. That's my vibe. So if you have any books you want to recommend to me to read this year, let me know. For those of you who are returning again, thank you so much. For those of you who are new, my name is Sarah, and welcome to our family, and I will see you in the next one.